Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, thank you for stopping by. I really hope you enjoy this type of video. For those of you who are new, we are going to be going to Disney World this year in September of 2023, and we are staying on property at Disney's Art of Animation Resort in the Little Mermaid standard rooms. So I am just like full-blown Disney mode at this point, and I have been thinking a lot about our trip and just planning in general, and so I'm gonna try to make some videos that would be helpful if you're trying to plan a trip. So today we are talking resorts. There are a lot of resorts on property, so today we're just strictly talking about those resorts that are on Disney property. There's a lot of them on property, a lot of different types, a lot of different things to consider. So today my goal is to simplify this for you, picking a resort, and to get the wheels a turning as far as what you need to be considering when you are booking your resort. So some things to consider. We've got four main things. Number one, of course, is the price. I think that's probably going to be the biggest factor for a lot of people when booking their resort stay. So we're going to talk about all of the different levels of resorts today, and I'm going to list those resorts for you. So if you're like, oh my God, there's so much going on, I've got you covered. I'm going to list the resorts. I'm going to show you pictures on the screen so that you know basically what it looks like, okay? So price, we've got to consider that. And as I go through this video, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the price. Theming, okay? If you're going with teenagers, you're probably going to pick a different resort than if you're going with a 3-year-old. Maybe not. It's totally up to you, but something to consider. Location, we'll get into that a little bit more, and then amenities. So those are really the four main things that you want to consider when picking your resort. To help me along, I made a list today because, like I said, there is a lot to consider. I'm actually not a Florida resident. I live in the Midwest. It's been 5 years since I've gone to Disney World, but I'm a huge fan and I still think I can be helpful. So we're going to talk about the value resorts first. So Disney has done a pretty good job at defining different tiers for the consumer so that we understand what is maybe going to work best for our family. So we have different tiers. The value tier is going to be the most affordable option. The moderate tier is going to be next above that. Deluxe is going to be the more expensive option. You have crazy more expensive options at the top, but for today's purposes, majority of people are going to be choosing value, moderate, or deluxe. The villas and all of those other things just complicate things, so we're going to keep it simple today. We are going to talk about the value resorts first, okay? So to list the value resorts, we have the All-Star resorts, All-Star Movies, All-Star Sports, and All-Star Music. So again, these are all three value resorts. We also have Pop Century, which I have had the pleasure of staying at twice now, and we had a great time. And then the last value resort is Disney's Art of Animation Resort. This one is a little bit different because it does have a standard room that's going to be relatively similar to the other value resorts, but they also do offer family style suites, which are going to be a little bit more expensive. They're going to be more equivalent as far as pricing to the deluxe pricing. But just so you guys are aware, they have a Cars themed suite, a Lion King themed suite, and a Finding Nemo themed suite. And honestly, if you have young children, I think that is so much fun. But a little bit as a whole about the value resorts, just some things to consider. So the value resorts have an outdoor or an exterior entrance. So instead of going into like a lobby to get to your rooms, you are going to enter your rooms from the outside. Honestly, when I went the first time, it's not even something that I really noticed. It's just the way it is. But if that is something that affects you, bothers you, whatever, that is going to be at the value resorts, all of the value resorts. So you will enter your room through the exterior of the building, okay? And then also, I think the main thing here is that the value resorts are going to be more affordable for your family, your party, whatever. The price is generally flexes a little bit depending on the time of year. For example, we are going in September and they did a room discount of 25% because it was like a slower time. So you can check pricing. It's really hard to like put like a blanket statement on how much each one is going to individually cost. Once you kind of decide where you're at, I think it would be good to do a little bit more detailed research on that at that point. The next thing with the value resorts is the theming is very, very kid friendly. If you couldn't tell by the pictures already, the value resorts seem to be like extravagant, over the top animation, characters, all of those amazing fun things that is just going to blow your kid's mind. I cannot wait to see my 3-year-old react to just like stepping on property at Art of Animation. It's going to be just amazing. So if you have young kids, it's a great option. And honestly, the first time I went, I was a teenager and I was still very, very excited about that. But the theming for the value resorts is very, very kid friendly. The location of the value resorts, they're relatively all together. They do, Pop Century and Art of Animation are direct Skyliner resorts, so they have access to the Skyliner, but they're all relatively close together. Closer to, I believe, Hollywood Studios and Epcot, pretty far away from Animal Kingdom and Magic Kingdom. But that just in general, that's something that you want to consider if you have a favorite park. If you, for example, love Animal Kingdom and you're going to be going there every day, you might want to pick a resort that's going to be closer to Animal Kingdom. The amenities at value resorts. I personally think the amenities at all of the resorts are amazing. They are all going to have a gift shop of some sort. Gonna be more specific to the resort. So Pop Century might have some Pop Century stuff to buy, merchandise. Art of Animation will have some Art of Animation merchandise, but there's all gonna be like generic merchandise at all of those places. I know when we went into Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge to explore their gift shop, it was very themed to the Animal Kingdom Lodge, which was super fun. But all of the value resorts and all of the resorts in general will have gift shops. Now, as far as other amenities, the value resorts will have pools, but they will not have pools with slides. So if you have young kids or kids in general, or just you're an adult and you prefer to have more of like a water park feel at your resort, you are going to want to look at the moderate and deluxe level resorts, because again, these value resorts just have pools. They do not have slides or splash pads, anything like that. However, I still think they're perfectly fine. I don't know, the theming is going to be great no matter what, but it is definitely something to consider. Really, the last thing to consider with the value resorts is that they are going to have a cafeteria style dining area as opposed to like a restaurant style. So the moderate and deluxe resorts will have more of those restaurant style options, and then your value resorts will just have a cafeteria basically, which again, not a bad thing. We love the cafeterias. When we stayed at Pop Century, we ate breakfast a couple times at our cafeteria in the resort. They have a lot of variety, several different options. They've got like a refrigerated section over in the corner with like pastries and snacks, and they have a lot of options. So it's definitely not something to complain about. But if you're looking for more of like a fine dining experience, in your resort that is not going to exist in the value resorts. Also, be on the lookout for arcades at the value resorts. That just now popped into my brain. I didn't write it down and I didn't do any research, so I'm not 100% sure if all of the value resorts have the arcades, but I'm relatively sure that they do. So if you, again, have young kids, maybe consider a value resort. Okay. Moving on to moderate resorts. So again, the value resorts are going to be the cheapest option. The moderate resorts are going to be the ones in the middle. So to list off the moderate resorts, we have Caribbean Beach, Coronado Springs, the cabins at Fort Wilderness, and then there is the Port Orleans Riverside, and then the Port Orleans French Quarter. So all of the moderate resorts are going to be a little bit more themed to, I mean, I think it should be kind of obvious to the design of the name. So obviously Port Orleans French Quarter is going to be more designed to look like that, versus like all of the value resorts are like very animated, very over the top characters, that kind of thing. The moderates, and I think the deluxe too, are more, I don't know how to, it's not like Disney theming. Okay, so it's not going to be like over the top animation. It's going to be, each resort is just specifically themed to that style, if that makes any sense. So some things to look forward to if you are staying in a moderate resort: the pools. The pools are going to now have water slide options, and you are also going to have probably different dining options. Instead of just the cafeteria style, you will have the sit-down dining options, restaurant options. I can do a more specific list on each resort if you would prefer. I can do a list on all of the restaurants and dining options within the resorts, but for today's purposes, we're going to try to keep it relatively simple. Moving on, we are just going to skim right to the deluxe resorts. So, of course, the deluxe resorts are going to be top of the list as far as our purposes today. There are more expensive options out there, but again, for today, we're going to try to keep it relatively simple. The deluxe resorts, the list is Animal Kingdom Lodge. Beautiful resort. I haven't got to stay there, but we did get to eat at Boma, which is a restaurant inside, and we had a great experience. The Beach Club, the Yacht Club, Boardwalk Inn, the Contemporary, the Grand Floridian, the Polynesian or the Poly, Wilderness Lodge, and the Galactic Star Cruiser. All of the deluxe resorts are, I mean, they're just stunningly beautiful. We walked into, we didn't just walk into, we actually ate inside of the Grand Floridian last time we went, and it was just like quality, like high class, so fancy. Definitely a place that we enjoyed visiting, but not something that we would have stayed in. Again, these are going to be pricey resorts, but they will all have restaurant options, very fancy restaurant options, sometimes more than one restaurant option, and they will all have really cool pools with slides, water pads, splash pads, the whole nine. Have a lot of great amenities there, and then again, those gift shops are going to be nice. Of course, each one is going to be a little bit different as far as some different things that they offer. For example, when we visited the Animal Kingdom Lodge to eat at Boma, there was someone showing all of these little kids. They basically just had like a little class showing kids how to like color. There's like a little stamp on the floor where you can like trace animal prints and that kind of thing. So there's just cast members available to help basically keep you entertained, which that kind of exists everywhere, but it's really special at the deluxe resorts. Okay, so once again, I'm gonna go through the list slowly. Animal Kingdom Lodge. If you're a fan of the zoo, there are literal live animals outside your window, but you do have to select that safari view. As far as your room, the Beach Club. I don't know. I don't think I've ever been inside of the Beach Club. The Yacht Club. Boardwalk Inn, and I think going to the boardwalk would be so much fun just to visit. The Contemporary. So the Contemporary is the resort the monorail actually goes through, which is very, very cool. The Grand Floridian. Great resort if you love Magic Kingdom. The Polynesian or the Poly. Fancy, fancy, fancy. Wilderness Lodge. And then the Galactic Star Cruiser. So again, the main things you're going to want to consider: the price, value, moderate or deluxe, the theming. So the value resorts are themed very kid-friendly, lots of over-the-top Disney animation style, and then your moderate and deluxe resorts are going to be just more leisurely themed, I guess. Location, it's kind of hard to put a pin and say choose a deluxe resort if you want to stay close to this theme park, because everything's kind of spread out. So that is something that you will have to do a little bit more specific research on once you kind of narrow down everything else. The amenities, the pools, the restaurants, just definitely something to consider, okay? If you guys want me to do any more specific lists on the value, the moderate, or the deluxe, or more specific on each resort, please just let me know. I honestly had so much fun writing everything down and doing a little bit of research for this video. If you enjoy it, let me know by giving me a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!